हमारे ऑफिस बुलाने के भी 2 फायदे हैं कि if the show was super hit, we will take all the credit, देखो you came to our place. और अगर नहीं हुआ तो मुंह काला करने तुम आए थे, मैं तो गया नहीं था. Correct?
Basically एजेंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा.
He's the smartest in the room. He's the best looking. So welcome to Chrome Talkies, Bindiya Ke Bahubali, one of my personal favorite shows. It's doing well. It's got a good reach. Season 2 has hit 15.81 million people so far, and the data collection period is 21st Jan to the 2nd of February, which is till yesterday. So you had about, which is not a bad number, 15.81 million, मतलब 1.5 करोड़, 1 करोड़ 60 लाख लोग देख चुके हैं बिंदिया के बाहुबली.
Which is in 10 days.
Which is in 10 days. Which is in 10 days.
Nice.
The good news, it's a good number, but it's a cluttered market. You know, it's constantly cluttered. Every day there's a new show. Netflix, you're competing with Dhurandhar. Right? God knows what. It's so complicated. Dhurandhar is like a giant now, right? So the competition is huge. The audiences are very difficult to hold today because you're not dealing with one channel कि दूरदर्शन आ रहा है, चित्रार आ रहा है, तो सब 8 बजे देखेंगे. You're competing with content on TV. You're competing with OTT. You're competing with 40 platforms. Right? So it's a very cluttered market. That's why I say congratulations, Raj, for 15.81. That's a good number.
Thank you. I want to add one thing. I also feel that this number may be number that is reflecting more of the audience who has seen season 1. I feel that people who are starting to watch season 2, they'll go back first watch season 1 and then they will come to season 2. So I don't know if you know your data is both season 1 and 2 combined or it is just season 2. I don't know about that, but I have a feeling that that's one thing.
That is true. I think it's a fantastic example, and the case study, which is an example of people looking at seasons, is House of Cards. So every time House of Cards, have you seen House of Cards?
Yeah,
You have seen
of
House
course.
So every time there's been a new season of House of Cards, the gap has been substantial. People have gone through the beginning and they've spent lots of people. So when season 6 came, I think it was 6 or 7, which had a huge gap. And people went through the entire patch and they had a good 15-20 days of binge watching when they went on 7. So what you're saying makes sense as long as it's a continuation to a story. The binge score, Raj, Sushant and Aakash, is 12%, which means 12% of this 15.81 million people have watched more than 2 episodes at a time, right? The best episode so far was the first episode that went on. People came with a lot of expectations, and again, from a content point of view, what I am told, it did have a decent element of the expected comedy. So the feedback for you again from the audience is somehow people are looking for a lot of comedy, which was not there against in season 1, right? So I leave this open. The numbers will keep going on. I'm going to dissect data on females, males, state-wise. But before you guys talk and make it interactive, any guesses on the state which got the maximum consumption for this kind of content? Aakash, पूरे भारत में अगर कितने states है guys? Riya, how many states in total?
28.
28, including the UTs, right? So which state would have contributed to this kind of content? UP. Bang on, man. You are. He's the smartest in the room. He's the best looking. ये परेशान है. मैं video call to him in the morning.
I'll kind of leave the room. It's like
I called him in the morning and I told him, I did a video call. These guys sitting together. I just looked at him blindly. I said, he's so much better looking than you are. He disconnected the call. But these are factors. This guy is so much brighter than you are.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie. Okay, so Aakash, you're right. 5 million out of 15 million came from UP. That is
That's huge. That's like 1/3.
1/3. Followed by Delhi at 4.27, which is about 27% of your consumption is coming from Delhi. Bihar or Jharkhand, 3.32 million. Which is equivalent to 21%.
Which has gone up compared to season 1.
Season 1, you know?
Which has gone up compared to season 1. Followed by Haryana at 1.58 million, which is 10%. You are from Haryana?
I am from.
Body language से पता लगी pointed at you. ठीक है. Then United Kingdom, which is next to UP, UK. UK is at 0.95, 6%. Uttarakhand.
UK.
He's definitely brighter than you, and so is the one on the left. Because they both got
I'm
it.
just like, I
They both got it.
I want to take.
Sushant, such
I
a
want to
banana.
take
Did you
it at
understand
face
UK?
value.
You got the thing. You got the thing.
Okay, fine. Fine, I'm taking it at face value.
So Uttarakhand. Followed by Maharashtra at 0.21, which is 2%. Rajasthan 0.15, 1%. And Baki all other states put together 0.19 million.
MP didn't show up in this.
In others,
Okay.
very small.
But last time MP was there, no? I feel. Yeah.
We'll have the data for last. We can do the comparison of both the data points and check. So what's your view on the market? That's what you expected? I'm trying to make this interactive because I'm going to end up talking.
It's of course North India is going to be sort of the first market for it, right? The story is set in UP, Bihar, Lingo.
Bihar में numbers up गए हैं. That is.
So because last time it was
last time
कम था, weak था.
because also there was no real publicity in Bihar.
So I think these numbers also reflect the work we did post season 1.
Yeah.
हमने जो publicity की. These numbers also
reflect
I think they are building upon that. Publicity as well.
Actually it's all it's a cumulative build up as you launch. The properties keep increasing. You are going to interchange, you can go back also. The only difference is none of them are pros, they're all colleagues of mine who have nothing to do with production, but we do this for hobby. So UP good in terms of male and female. Any percentage of the split of male and female? So the numbers are total. What are the percentage numbers? I don't have the total.
Male viewership would be higher.
Male is 9.93.
9 divided by 50.
Karna total 9.93 divided by total.
65%.
That's okay. So 9.93 is total is males and females is 5.88 million. But not bad. You got a relatively okay skew. Generally, क्या होता है? A lot of news content will have a much higher skew towards
60%.
towards males. So 65% is males. And females is at about 5.88. Is that a decent number?
I think it is following the trend of season 1. I think it was also same.
It was a skew towards females. And Aakash,
Towards
since you are
males.
the brightest guy in the room, if I were to split the females into 4 parts, which is below 18 in terms of age group.
अच्छा वो बता
Below 18, I'm just taking trials. I understood it.
I don't know ये कहाँ जाने वाले हैं. ठीक है.
So in terms of age groups, if I was to split them into 4 parts, females below 18, 18 to 24, 25 to 35, and 35 plus. According to you, maximum came from which age group? I'll repeat, below 18, 18 to 24, 25 to 35, 35 plus.
I think 25 to 35.
18 to 24.
You've not seen it?
Huh?
You've not seen it?
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even he's smarter than you.
ये मैं जानबूझ रहा हूँ.
I didn't even use a word.
It's right. So it is logically, it is 18 to 24, but both of you are right. 18 to 24. Today I'm going to pull his leg.
That's okay. I mean, I can put the legs up here. You can keep pulling. That's okay, fine.
So females 18 to 24 is 38% and 25 to 35 is 35%, which is a relatively healthy number. So if you look at the split of 18 to 35,
That's a major demographic.
At 73%.
In both
Even in the males.
female, I think same. Last time भी यही age group हमारा.
ये age group था. ये काफी healthy group है from an advertiser point of view. I remember we discussed this. It's a very good number, males and females, and obviously 18 plus तो कम होगा because shows में जो claimed हैं वो कम ही लोगों ने claim किया होगा. As per it's a rated A. हाँ तो actually 0 होना चाहिए, but people have claimed to have watched it. And females 35 at 20%. Rightly so, beyond a certain age. You can't go. Let's look at the male splits. Raj, Sushant, and all of you can speak. If you were to dissect it into the same 4 stratas, below 18, 18 to 24, 25, 35, and 35 plus. Any guesses which would be the highest strata in males?
Males मुझे लगता है 25 to 35 वाला ज़्यादा होगा.
Bang on, 39%. 39% males, and followed by 18 to 24, which is 34%, right? So I think it's a fairly, from an advertising point of view, your entire core demographic is 18 to 35 for both males and females. That's the number on males and females. It gets very awkward now when you don't know what to ask and the data is over.
Huh?
Data over हो गया?
नहीं, there's more stuff. I got tons of
Date is not over. No? Data is over. Date is not over.
Yeah. I think the show will keep continuing. Binge is a good number. You got the male, female split and all. But good, yeah. So what are the plans for you got to a season 3?
That plan
We want
with
to-
Amazon MX Player.
Their ball is in their court now. So the numbers are great. Numbers deserve a third season. Numbers are saying that. Now it's up to the producers.
Yeah. Excellent. So that's the data that you have mostly for Bindiya Ke Bahubali. I think it's a good number. I will give you some numbers on what this 15.81 million means relative to other shows.
Right.
So you guys were launched in week
1, 2, 3.
Week
Third.
3.
Week 3.
Week 3 2026. And in the launch week on Amazon MX Player, Bindiya Ke Bahubali Season 2 free show Hindi. Total reach in that 1 week was 5.9 million at number 4 across the entire OTT universe.
Oh.
That's
Number 1 बताता हूँ. Number 1 Jio Star पे था Sports New Zealand Tour of India ODI series with a reach of 37.4%. That's the power of cricket, right? Again, number 2 Geostar New Zealand Tour of India again T20I series, which was at a reach of 30.1%. Number 2.
Compete नहीं कर सकते.
Compete नहीं कर सकते. Number 3 Amazon Prime Video Fallout Season 2.
अच्छा.
Fallout Season 2. That
Which I
came
don't know.
at 6.4.
I've been following.
what date did they
Season
release?
two.
The
Work
release
for
date,
me.
you will have the release date. You have the soft copy of that. The release would have been slightly before you guys. I would
Before
assume
and
so.
plus it's वो हर week एक episode release हो रहा है.
Is it that?
It's not अभी वो binge वाले उसमें आया नहीं है.
Yeah, and you guys were at number 4, Bindiya Ke Bahubali at 5.9, and number 5 had Sony Live Shark Tank India's season 5. Now, what's good is Shark Tank has got a very, very high recall. You know, everyone knows Shark Tank, right? So you are ahead of Shark
But
Tank.
these are non-fiction shows. We're not even into. Why?
No, Fallout is a fiction show.
No, except the Shark Tank and all the
we are-
cricket and all that, right? It's just
This, I think they put the entire universe of all shows put together across sports.
yeah.
So Fallout season 1 was very good. You would expect a lot of people coming back for Fallout. I've been waiting for season 2.
Yeah.
But so we are competing with that and not very far behind. I think
No,
that's
quite
very-
close.
very
6.4.
encouraging.
Fallout on Amazon Prime Video is at 6.4.
Just half.
And Bindiya is at 5.9.
That's half a million.
And they were released. No, we were released on Wednesday, so they were released also earlier 2 days.
You will have the release dates on your thing, Vikram. Right? That is week 3.
Which is good.
Which is good actually. I think it's good. Yeah. Week 4, it is again number 1. You have Geostar, which continues with the New Zealand Tour of India T20 series, and followed by MX Player at Bindiya Ke Bahubali. So it went to number 2 at week 4. So number 1 or 2 में gap ज़्यादा है थोड़ा. The cricket is at 35.8%. Followed by Bindiya at 11.8%. Followed by Amazon Prime Video Fallout Season 2 at 6.3. So, Sushant, so you are competing with Fallout. In week 4, you actually went ahead of Fallout at 6.3. Followed by Shark Tank at 5.8. Followed by MasterChef India at, not bad, yeah, MasterChef 5.6.
Wow.
So that's the magic of the launch.
The Fallout was on 16th of December.
Launch. What a fantastic day. You know why?
December 16th, Jan.
What a big day.
Because of your birthday.
You remember?
No, so
Because it's my wife's
these are
birthday
the-
also.
But
It's an important day.
In that week, this was top on the top 10.
no, but what I'm trying to understand, we released on 21st of Jan, no?
Yeah.
So 16 December से क्या लेना देना?
In that week, this was on the top. No, release date to December. People were still watching it.
Acha, we're still watching Fallout. That's what you say. Okay, I got it. Got it. So which means that their data numbers are for full week. Our data is for half of the week. For that, that's what I'm saying.
So that could show the skew.
Yeah.
That could show the skew. But very good. MasterChef India, I've got my family constantly hooked on to MasterChef India. And if you're ahead of that, I think that's a very number. But I'm again saying that, Raj, and I'm quite blatant about stating facts. Had you stuck to comedy as your theme, your numbers could have been even bigger.
I don't make shows for you.
No, I'm saying from the audience point of view.
Also, audience point of view. But listen,
I mean, there's a
No,
perception.
I'll come to one thing, right? So first and foremost, this number conversation makes sense for one kind of thing, right? Second, we are discussing the kind of work we do has no relationship to MasterChef, cricket, Shark Tank, whatnot, right? That's all. Now coming to the comedy and tragedy of it, this was one season. This is a trajectory of a story, right? And it's gonna turn into tragedy, right? So now, as a maker, I'm just not interested in just keep giving you laughs. The story, the people are moving towards a certain journey in their lives. You lose numbers, you lose numbers.
No, that's a complete creative call. I'm only talking as a data scientist.
Sure.
Right. So you have your creative call, you could go to tragedy and all.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make, and I'll tell you, so I'll connect you with this guy. So perception, right? The only point I'm trying to make to you, with all creative respect and independence to you, you decide, it's your product, is audiences tend to relate to a product with some level of positioning. अगर आप वो positioning हम change करेंगे तो people might alienate. You did a good show, but it could have been bigger as well. If you stuck to comedy. For example, now the competitor that you look at your content, the closest thing from audiences is Mirzapur. The kind of content, the kind of violence, the kind of action. What is Mirzapur's core as a genre?
Comedy है.
I understand that.
No, what you are saying is correct.
Correct. Yeah.
What हमारा इसमें आप handicap बोल लो कि handicap ही कहूँगा मैं इसको. ये story arc एक season का था, पूरा story arc. So all these 12 episodes were shot at once.
Yeah.
So this was one story which you were supposed to see. आपने वन से देखना शुरू किया, comedy and suddenly इन सारे characters की life dark turn हो जाती है.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, जिस तरह से डिवाइड हुआ सीजन 1 और 2 में, कॉमेडी आर्क जो फर्स्ट सीजन में चला गया और जब इनकी ट्रेजेडी शुरू हो रही है वो एक कंप्लीटली दूसरा सीजन हो गया. वहां पर वो पोजीशनिंग गड़बड़ हो गई.
Right. But
मैं गड़बड़ नहीं बोल रहा, मैं तो सुशांत बोल ही नहीं रहा गड़बड़ हुआ. I am just saying from an audience point, we discussed this last time.
It could have been bigger. गड़बड़ तो नहीं हुआ.
गड़बड़ नहीं हुआ.
Numbers are great.
गड़बड़ नहीं हुआ.
छोटा अच्छा है.
गड़बड़ नहीं हुआ और गड़बड़ नहीं छोटा बड़ा का इशू नहीं है. So again, न्यूज पे आप आ जाओ आकाश. You know the highest rated news is what on any news channel? दोपहर को आता है 2 से 3. I can't. हाँ.
सास बहु.
So the highest content is soft content because television is primarily for entertainment. इसका ये मतलब तो है नहीं कि रात को न्यूज़ बंद कर देंगे पूरे दिन सास चलाएंगे, right? So you cannot completely go away from your core, right? But the fact remains that if you have some kind of an identity, it just makes you stronger. Now, when it's season 3, my thing again as a consumer now, not as a data scientist, on season 3, what do I look forward to? Comedy or tragedy?
A mix of it. It always was. I think even one is the setting of that world, right? You cannot get into the deeper emotional arcs of these guys straight away, right? So it's at the end of the day, the place, the world that is being created is an absurd place. So things happen and the way unfold, we find it comical because even it's a tragic thing happening, it's happening in a comical way.
One example which comes to mind,
Yeah.
and of course that series is totally different thing. Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
The way it starts, we laugh at those characters, their predicament. But towards the end of it, it turns darker and darker and darker because एक बार tragedy शुरू हुई, मुझे लगता है उसके बाद आर्क को वापस कॉमिक करना बड़ा ही मुश्किल है.
नहीं वो
और अब तो कर देंगे. चलिए हो गया, डिसाइड हो गया.
But that was my goal from the beginning. And once again, because this comedy is not just coming through some kind of jokes. Right? It's not I'm coming up with this joke or that joke and it's a comedy of that kind. It's a comedy of the absurd world that this is. And so now, one thing audience will be obviously assuming where the season 2 ends, and I'm not giving spoilers, that fuck. From here on, what would these guys do? And so the obvious thing that audience would assume that these guys will do this. I'm going to take you away from there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Which means that it is not just the dark.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's your view. I'll give another example that happened a few years back. Is that there was a big research done by someone else, right? And it was right to a great extent, saying that Indian audiences, there are always glimpses of soft porn or sex on the screen, but gay or same sex, same gender is something that Indian audiences never see. ये जरूर डाला. That was a research insight. उसका नतीजा ये हुआ कि पिछले 5 साल में इतने सारे शोज आए हैं, कई जगह फिट भी नहीं होगा. You will still see, right from Mirzapur, every other show will have some element of that, right? अब क्या हो गया? Audience fatigue. No, it's done, yeah. It's over. Now you need to move to something else, right? So that's what content is about, right? So you always do something which others are not doing. Always create content which is different from the others, and I find your content quite different from yours.
Going back to the storyboard of Ramgopal Verma, always keep surprising the audience.
Always keep surprising.
What they expect next, that will not happen.
Sure.
Yes.
That's something I learned from RG.
Sure.
Always.
Always. Absolutely. That's so true. Even the art of war. When you're in a strong position, never ever show that. Be humble, and you will know who are the weak ones to kill. And when you are in a terribly weak position, never show that. Always go bold. Otherwise, people are going to kill you. That's the art of war, right? So look, you're doing fine. Akash, but speaking, I want you to talk. We've not interacted. What's your view on how it went and all? What's your view of the debate that you're having? कि एक ही उसमें genre पे अपनी positioning है. It's an open debate. I mean, just interesting for your director for season 3. He might take a view कि अगर हम कॉमेडी का एस्टैब्लिश कर चुके हैं, हम कॉमेडी है तो कॉमेडी ही रहेंगे या चेंज करते रहना चाहिए.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि किसी चीज को थोपना नहीं चाहिए एज एन आर्टिस्ट.
हाँ जी.
मैं उस तरीके से अगर बोलूँ तो वो एक स्टोरी लाइन है, किसी के लिए कुछ करना और फिर उसके बाद उसमें कॉमेडी जानबूझ के डालना या ट्रेजेडी डालना या कुछ भी, वो मुझे पर्सनली नहीं अच्छा लगता.
बिल्कुल ठीक
कोई
है.
फिल्म या कुछ
कि जबरदस्ती चलो 5 गाने तो डालने थे, 5 गाने डाल दिए और ये करते. बिल्कुल ठीक है. तो दैट्स मसाला और सब कुछ डालें. बट मेरा सवाल कुछ और आता है. मेरा सवाल है कि अगर हमने एक फ्रेंचाइज बनाया, राइट, जिसमें मैं और राज डिसएग्री करते हैं, बट वी कैन एग्री टू डिसएग्री. ही इज टॉकिंग क्रिएटिवली, मैं डेटा के उससे बोल रहा हूँ कि अगर हमने कोई एक फ्रेंचाइज बनाया, लेट्स टेक, इतने सारे बनते हैं, 1 2 3 सिंघम हो गया या एनी अदर फ्रेंचाइज, मिर्जापुर हो गया, तो उसका जो थीम है वो जो एक बार एस्टैब्लिश हो गया, जैसे सीजन 1 कॉमेडी था, हम हंस के बहुत, हालांकि उसके इतने सारे मीम्स बने. आई विल शो यू वन. आई शो इन द जिम में आज देखा था मैंने सुशांत के जर्नलिस्ट टेल यू राइट नाउ, देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स दैट गो रियली वायरल. तो जो भी मीम्स वायरल गए हैं बिंदिया के, वो सब कॉमेडी के गए हैं. करेक्ट, क्योंकि एक्शन में हेलीकॉप्टर उड़ रहा, ऑल द ड्रामा इज हैपनिंग कॉमेडी. सो क्या हमें कॉमेडी पे नहीं रुकना चाहिए एंड टू गेट मोर ऑडियंसेस, और यू कीप चेंजिंग दैट? आई जस्ट वांट, आप व्हाट इज योर व्यू आकाश?
कीप चेंजिंग. आई थिंक
ही एग्रीज विद यू, हिज रोल इज शॉर्ट.
This whole thing about comedy and tragedy, and we should stick to what is working for them, because I'm loving that. I hear that from every producer. I'll hear that from every channel head. This is not a new thing, so I'm smiling at it, and so I want to get to the depth of his desires in terms of data and the numbers, and this should happen and that should happen. We should make films which the whole country will go gaga about, because the whole country is, मैं ज़्यादा दूसरी जगह चला जाऊँगा, whole country is behind a certain emotion. Let's just make that emotion.
एजेंडा ऊंचा रहे.
एजेंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा, है ना? So I don't think we become filmmakers because of that reason. So one can have that discussion all day long, and for us that's just unimportant conversation. That conversation is important at the time of decision that we are going to make a subject in this specific genre with these things, as we understand. But then you are creating a world. There is some integrity to the world that you are creating. You are creating characters. You are dealing with certain emotions in that world, right? That's the integrity you're going to hold on to, because then you are there to say something. You're not there to sell a package that everybody can laugh at.
Yes.
Not interested.
Fair enough.
Not interested as a filmmaker, and I feel that filmmakers who have to and make film because of that this way, I just feel for them deeply. I'll die. I can't. I'll never.
Absolutely.
I believe any story needs to grow organically. Wherever the character, because after a point, even the writer loses control over the characters.
Yeah.
Then they grow organically. अगर वो ट्रेजेडी की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं तो बढ़ ही रहे हैं, आप नहीं रोक सकते उनको.
Yeah. And I think beyond the numbers of कितने लोगों ने देखा, जो लोग अटैच होते हैं किसी कहानी से, वो उसमें जो लोग कैरेक्टर्स को देख रहे हैं तो वो उनसे दिल जोड़ता है, उनके इमोशन से दिल जोड़ता है उस दुनिया को देखने. So I'll rather have 7 people who are connected to these human beings rather than 12 people जिसमें से 5 लोग चुटकुले सुनने आए हैं, तो उनको मैं फीड करने के लिए I'm okay with my 7.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing pretty well in terms of what we set out.
Yeah, so I will change my hat that I'm wearing, but I hope he's getting the cameras on after the BTS. I'll tell you what. So I'll wear another hat. I've been the biggest proponent of removing ratings for news. since if you Google that, I've had a huge amount of issues with people because जब तक न्यूज़ का TRP आएगा, जब तक हम बिल्ली मर गई, कुत्ता गिर गया,
अच्छा ratings TRP,
जिस दिन वो बंद हो जाएगा, उस दिन you will have all people wanting to give the serious news. जिस दिन ratings बंद हो जाएगी, उस दिन breaking news करना छोड़ देंगे हम हर 2-2 सेकंड में कई slots हैं, right? So I'm with you on that front. So there are two angles.
But in that, I'd like to add one thing. News and we as filmmakers are in a it's the basic ethics of journalism that you should not have TRP. In our case, TRP and that bringing people to enjoy something, entertainment, giving art, individual artist expression or whatever, it's a different thing. Our integrity in terms of our art is very different. Journalism, TRP, you're selling news for
mass consumption,
chillana, all of that.
Yeah. Correct. So we are on the same page. So let's agree to disagree and let's agree to agree in this one.
नहीं तो हम तो disagree कहाँ किए?
We agree. Agree. But everything, life, it's a very challenging.
Anyway, you promised dinner after this, so we
Yeah. And other things before dinner.
Yeah. Correct. A lot of that. So no, it's a very challenging market. Raj, you know it better. You are on the creative side. We are only auditors. We only gather data. It is hugely challenging because the quantum of competition is immense.
Mm-hmm.
It's immense. You're not only competing with other OTT platforms. You're competing with WhatsApp. You're competing with Reels. You're competing with all kinds of channels. You're competing with global audiences. It's a very difficult market. But in those kind of markets, if any one format or franchise managed to gather 15 million people without spending a few hundred crores, right? It's not like 1,000 crore production now. That is a pat on the back. So that's well done for all of you. That's the reason we keep. No, I will tell you more. Sorry.
But also, I just want to say this one thing, that the kind of work you guys are doing in terms of dissecting it, I don't even know the mechanism that you use to do it. It must be very complicated. But this kind of information, if not only just the channel heads or whatever, I mean, your audience, but if filmmakers and if general public, I mean, generally anybody from the film fraternity or people who are making it, they can just see that data transparently on an ongoing basis. I think that will help a lot in many ways in terms of the overall dynamics of the industry, overall synergy of the industry. So I don't know why, first of all, that this data has to be sought for. Why the hell it is not out in the open, in the public, in a very transparent way? I mean, it's like, why all the channels are not giving very clearly what our data is?
Yeah,
right?
So it's a very good question and I'll answer the question. Yeah. It's a fantastic question, we answer it every day. The challenge in our country, Aakash, if you look at everything that we're using today, like if we're doing a live, everything, we use content, we use products from Silicon Valley. It's Facebook, Instagram, everything, right? YouTube, Amit just launched Sitare Zameen Par. Platform YouTube किया. हमारा challenge India का, in fact, and all those platforms are run by Indians at the end of the day, if you see that. Sundar Pichai, all of them, right? अपना challenge is not technology or money or capability. हमारा challenge is political consensus. I want to go left, you want to go right. Till we both agree, we'll stay here.
Yeah.
That's the Indian law, status quo, and that's why you see channels or some OTT players against it. Now, why? If I'm platform A versus B versus C, is data so you get access to ABC? If A is doing number one, he's number one. He will say, I'll buy the data and I'll publish it. जो number 3 है वो कहेगा data is wrong. I'm number 1. Right? So any data which exposes weakness will always be opposed. And for any format, any ratings agency across the globe, the leaders are the one who fund it and they support it.
Correct.
वही चल.
Professional integrity
नहीं है.
and honesty
नहीं
is
तो वो transparency नहीं रखा
counterintuitive to business interests.
Yeah, and there are platforms. So I know for a fact that I think JioStar buys the data, Sony buys the data, and a couple of more platforms, Netflix and all. So they are, I think, some platforms are beyond that insecurity of what the data will say, right? अभी digital में इतना challenge नहीं है. People are accepting the data because digital is addressable to a great extent. So अगर Chrome से नहीं पता लगेगा, YouTube से idea लग जाएगा, audience gaze से लग जाएगा, scraping से social media से पता लग जाएगा, right? this bigger challenge lies more on the linear broadcast. So there are 300 news channels, and you know how out of 300, I think some 100 are number one. Correct. 100 तो number one होंगे ना, because and the data, since you're not from the industry, I'll tell you, जो data release होता आ रहा है, ऐसे 15 साल पहले हम मजाक उड़ाते थे कि number one XYZ channel और नीचे लिखा आएगा amongst females 18 to 22 in Bihar and Jharkhand. So वहाँ पे आ गया
The fine print.
the fine print. So the fine print is gone finer now, and I saw something last month which said, again, it was females or males or whatever, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Wow.
Can you believe it? Number one.
एजेंडा ऊंचा है.
Oh my god.
Agenda.
ये तो मैंने आपको हुक लाइन दे दी, अब ये बहुत जगह काम आएगी.
बिल्कुल. So that is the reality of life. The data is pretty much done. You guys want to add something? I'll give you more examples of week 49, 50, 51, 52 till now. Mostly what leads is sports. So whenever there is sports. So in week 49 it was JioStar with South Africa Tour of India, T20 at number 1. Then you had Big Boss 19, you had the Ashes, COTT Ke Bahubali, and Stranger Things season 5 on Netflix. Week 50 again it was South Africa Tour of India. Week 50 last year, 49.
So last year.
No, we're talking about November, the week for 50. This is all December, 49, 50.
So we don't exist then.
You don't. So I'm just giving you an idea of
Yeah.
of the fact that it's a very fickle audience and a competitive market. Cricket is like a ocean, right? It's huge. And every time there is cricket, it's number one, and the gap is huge. So cricket, South Africa Tour of India, T20 did about 39 million, followed by the Ashes at 9.5 million. Right? So that's all the data. I will share all the numbers with you. They will interest you. We'll get them put in a graphical format. Right?
Explain us one thing. Like in your analysis, you mentioned like CCTV something like 3 viewers per whatever. Yeah. Can you explain us like what that
CTV का एवरेज देते हैं कि अगर आप मोबाइल पे देख रहे हो तो probably अकेले देख रहे होगे. On a CTV consumption, the national average is about 3.
What is CTV?
Connected TV.
Okay, but acha.
Smart TV.
अच्छा.
So you're actually not watching it on phone, but you're watching on a connected smart.
So आप तीन लोग देख रहे हो.
That's the average you take.
अच्छा.
कनेक्टेड टीवी का एवरेज 3 है, और जो केबल टीवी था पहले, जो अभी भी है, उसका 5 था.
Okay.
और इफ यू गो बैक अर्लियर, बट जस्ट टू गिव यू पर्सपेक्टिव, आज से अगर हम 30-35 साल पहले जाएं, वी विल नो, यू माइट नॉट नो, बट टीवी भी किराए पे लेते थे, एक वीडियो VCR लेके आते थे, लगाते थे, उसका तो 25 जाएगा, 30 जाएगा, क्योंकि सारा मोहल्ला पूरा मोहल्ला बैठ रहा है, राइट?
Okay.
So that's how audiences get getting.
Okay, so that's how you calculate the numbers.
So CTV का अगर जो हिट गया, that is a ratio of 1:3. Mobile is
1:1.
1:1. 1:1.
Fair.
Mobile could be 1:2 unless you're in a metro also. So depends.
Mobile is still.
Sorry, what
Do
is
you
it?
want to talk anything about the series, any scenes or anything, or do you want to ask any?
No, he's a creative guy. I've seen the content. He knows for a fact that I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm a fan of Bindiya. So,
Why shouldn't you be saying?
more on the data side, no bias. Okay, I'm a fan of Bindiya, but the fact is that I'm trying to isolate that thing and talk from a data point. That's why I was critical of content. नहीं तो I would have said I loved it यार, क्योंकि मैं भी बोर हो गया कॉमेडी कितना वही जोक तब तक देखेंगे. ट्रेजेडी हमें भी देखनी थी. You know, we also want to lose some characters. You know, what's your view since you're alive?
Season 3.
हाँ, कुछ तो बोला guys, whatever. So you're the youngest, say more stuff. कैसा
जाते कुछ तो नया डेटा जा.
Oh my god.
एजेंडा ऊपर है.
ये मेरे लिए बहुत ही नई चीज़ है जो मैं कभी ऐसे बैठा नहीं. हम हमेशा जो है फ्रेंड्स वगैरह जो वो लोग बात करते रहते हैं कि कौन सी चीज़ कितनी चल रही है, तो हम लोगों को सिर्फ एक दूसरे से पूछ के या कोई कभी मिल गया वैसे ही पता चलता है. दिस इज वेरी न्यू फॉर मी कि ये जिस तरीके से मुझे समझ में नहीं आती.
No, it was also like first time when we came.
Last year जब हम आए थे,
मतलब एकदम exactly शीशे की तरह एक शीशा है,
ऐसे
उसको
ही
साफ कर दिया गया.
I'm like, okay, what is this? Yeah, so
कि मुझे कितने लोग देख रहे हैं, मेल्स फीमेल्स एज ग्रुप.
आज हम जितने इंटेलिजेंट प्रतीत हो रहे हैं, लास्ट ईयर जब आए थे हम तेरी तरह डम फॉर्मड थे कि ये क्या हो रहा है, ये क्या है.
आप ही इंटेलिजेंट हो, हम तो वही हैं ना.
वो तो
According to Pankaj.
वो अंडरस्टूड है.
फॉर अ चेंज आई एग्री विद यू.
ये देख. I gave him something to read off.
You are intelligent, I am better looking.
Correct. No, so lovely. So
correct.
so data, but as an artist, I don't see ज़्यादा data का usage. मतलब in the sense अच्छा लगेगा कि ठीक हमने बिंदिया में काम किया, 1.5 करोड़ लोगों ने already देख लिया. Hopefully next week you might be more curious to know कि 1 करोड़ 60 लाख कितना बढ़ता चला गया. Like he's very curious. Does that as an actor इंटरेस्ट आता है जानने में?
जैसे इंटरेस्ट आता है, बिल्कुल आता है. मैं तो अभी सब कुछ खो बैठ के जो है यही सुन रहा था कि आपका सारा कुछ जो भी आपने एनालिसिस करके बताया है. बट बिंदिया में काम करना तो एक्टर्स में अभी तक तो सारी मजाक चीज़ें चल रही थी, हम लोग जब पॉडकास्ट या किसी उसमें जाते हैं. बट मेरे लिए इट वाज बहुत अलग था एज एन एक्टर काम करना एक्टर्स के साथ. इतने सब एक्टर्स जितने भी आप लोग आपने देखे होंगे उसमें, तो इट वाज अ ड्रीम फॉर मी.
वेरी नाइस.
ये डेटा काम आएगा जब नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट का ऑफर आएगा. और नेगोशिएशन की बात है कि ना, देखो डेटा देखा है हमारा,
कितने लोग देखे हैं हमारी शक्ल,
सेम चेक पे भी सेम रिफ्लेक्ट होना चाहिए फॉर द नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट.
डेटा एंड आई थिंक इट्स
पर उन्होंने नहीं देखा होगा ना, वो नहीं बताते.
हम डेटा
देखते हैं. काफी प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं अभी पिछले 2 साल में, काफी डेटा हैज बिकम वेरी डेमोक्रेटिक. रिया नोस फॉर अ फैक्ट काफी लोग यूज कर रहे हैं अभी. तो रेफरेंस के लिए अभी 2 ही हैं. दूसरा का इज वेरी गुड गाय, बॉम्बे स्मॉलर स्केल, लेकिन उनका भी डेटा अच्छा है. ही नोज व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. डेटा 2 ही टच पॉइंट्स हैं अभी, बट रेफर होता है हर प्लेटफॉर्म, हर उसमें रेफर होता है. जो बड़े स्टार्स हैं, किस का ज़्यादा कहाँ फॉलोइंग है, राइट. सो आई डोंट नो ये क्रिएटिवली इम्प्लीमेंट हो सकता है, नहीं हो सकता. बट हाइपोथेटिकली यू आस्क कि एमपी नहीं आया, एमपी पूछा ना. अब एमपी नहीं आया, लेकिन दिल्ली बिहार तो हो गया. तो इसका आप लोग का दिल्ली बिहार का अपील बहुत स्ट्रांग है, स्टोरी लाइन दिल्ली बिहार की है. लेकिन एमपी के लिए ये स्टार बहुत बढ़िया है, विक्रम जैन है ना. ही गॉट ऑल फॉलोइंग फ्रॉम एमपी. सो डू यू वांट टू कंसिडर हिम कि इनको भी डाल देते हैं, तो उसमें थोड़ा एमपी का फुटप्रिंट बढ़ जाएगा. सेम एज पॉलिटिक्स. इट्स ऑल व्हाट इज पॉलिटिक्स, यू आर ऑल रीचिंग आउट टू मासेस, राइट. तो किस ऑडियंस को कौन अपील करता है?
वो जो आजकल पैन इंडिया फिल्मों का दौर चल रहा है,
पैन इंडिया फिल्मों का दौर. बट इसमें दिस इज अ मैरिज.
एक तमिलनाडु का भी एक्टर ले लेते हैं, एक केरला का भी एक्टर ले लेते हैं.
हाँ.
तो अपनी फिल्म पैन इंडिया हो जाएगी.
पैन इंडिया हो जाती है. नहीं, ये भी एक स्ट्रेटेजिक डिसीजन है. आई एग्री विद यू. कई बार ये क्रिएटिवली मिसफिट लगता है. मैं ना
बैकफायर भी होता है,
बैकफायर भी होता है. कई सारे ऐसे हैं, एंड आई थिंक क्रिएटिव मिसमैच भी इतना ज्यादा, बिकॉज़ द फादर इज स्पीकिंग इन अ पंजाबी एक्सेंट, द डॉटर इज गॉट अ साउथ इंडियन एक्सेंट. ऐसा कैसे हो गया? कहीं तो कुछ गलती हुई है प्रोडक्शन में. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द
कहीं और गलती हुई.
आई सेड प्रोडक्शन में, उसके दोनों मतलब निकलते हैं. I've thought about the word.
प्रोडक्शन या रिप्रोडक्शन,
प्रोडक्शन में बहुत अच्छा वर्ड. I've thought about it. It's very calculated what I'm saying. Right? लेकिन ये जो marriage of data and creative, we should wrap this up in about 3 minutes from now, hopefully. We'll wrap it up in 3 minutes. But what I'm trying to, and we are all learning as we speak, the marriage of data और creative एक बहुत ही मुश्किल सा एक वो है, क्योंकि अब जो MP का एग्जाम्पल लिया है, राइट, वो प्रैक्टिकल है नहीं है, राइट. बट यू सी दैट, वुड यू कंसिडर कि आपको पता लग जाए कि बस हमारे एमपी के लिए रीच आउट करने के लिए ये स्टार्स हैं जिनका एमपी में ज़्यादा फुटप्रिंट है, तो एक नया कैरेक्टर इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं. हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल है.
How do you speak generic? It may be something which can very organically be part of it, and for that you're just, if the decision is on equal footing between what you are doing anyways, maybe, right? But if the decision is not on equal footing of where you were going, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Very nice. So creative, हर चीज़ में एक लिमिटेशन है. मतलब जितना इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हो लॉजिकली इज व्हाट नीड्स टू बी डन. जैसे अभी आज की डेट में OTT में सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है AVOD और SVOD. AVOD मतलब एडवर्टाइजिंग वीडियो जो फ्री में कोई भी देख सकता है, और सब्सक्रिप्शन जैसे नेटफ्लिक्स हो गया, अब प्राइम भी हाइब्रिड हो गया. फैमिली मैन देखोगे, ब्रेक्स देखने पड़ेंगे बीच में. योर कंटेंट यू हैव टू वॉच ब्रेक्स इन बिटवीन. इट्स हाइब्रिड. बट द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज इज दैट हाउ डू वी एंश्योर दैट यू एड उतना ही चला पाए कि जितना पैसा आइडियल मिल जाए, लेकिन प्लेटफॉर्म ना डूब जाए. बिकॉज आफ्टर अ सर्टेन पॉइंट शो ही फ्लॉप हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा ऐड चला दिया. वो भी एक बैलेंस है, विच इज़ एग्जैक्टली द बैलेंस विच इज़ डन विद डेटा. कि ऑडियंसेस 40 सेकंड के बाद 40 सेकंड तक आपके 15% ऑडियंस गिरती है, और जैसे ही आपका 41वां सेकंड होगा 15 का 25-30 हो जाएगा. व्हाट इज द नंबर? सो 40 इज अ वेरी क्रिटिकल थ्रेशोल्ड. सो कीप योर एड ब्रेक्स बिलो 40 seconds. Have you noticed कि ad breaks are never 1 minute or 30 seconds? They're random, 46 seconds, 40 seconds. That is all scientific. जो क्रिएटिव्स बनते हैं OTT पे जाने के लिए, that is all calculated कि ऑडियंस का होल्ड कितने टाइम का.
I'll tell you, like I have a big itch with this ad matter. Like, look, when we are creating, we are so focused on every next moment, what is going to happen. Every next little beat of what we are creating, we are kind of clear, and we are very, very conscious of this fact that you have that little itch moment. Like we go watch movies, right? हमने देखनी शुरू करी 3 मिनट में 2 मिनट में, like because the moments have come which are not right. We're not feeling anything, and when you're creating this content of 600 minutes, 12 episode. Every next beat, you are clear that I'm not going to lose my audience here, and in that you are putting an ad. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's a huge itch, you know. It's just a huge. It's just experience is different. Somebody who has gotten into it because of that ad will walk away, and because life is so busy, it's just like I'm not coming back to it.
In all fairness, you are wearing only a creative hat. Right now, you are talking with a lot of creative passion. उसमें ad क्यों डाला? लेकिन जिसने ad डाला तो $1 billion कंपनी चला रहा है ना.
Sure.
तो उसने कुछ सोच के डाला होगा. और वो प्राइम की बात कर रहे हैं, बिग प्लेटफॉर्म तो डालना पड़ रहा है because there is an audience reality. The acquisition cost of धुरंधर 200-250 करोड़ का प्रोडक्ट खरीद रहे हो. Right? So who's going to pay for that? Subscription and AVOD. It's a hybrid of both. Right? So I will wrap up with the numbers which are interesting on what the landscape is. The total market in India is about $6.5 billion AVOD or SVOD मिलाकर. $6.5 billion dollar is appreciated by 1 rupee after Trump has announced he's reduced the subsidies, the tax from 25 to 18%. So the rupee has appreciated by 1 rupee, by the dollar is depreciated, the rupee is appreciated to 90 rupees. तो 90 से आप 6.5 billion करोगे, that is almost 60,000 crores की industry है. Which is AVOD plus SVOD. AVOD is 3.5 billion, SVOD is 3 billion. AVOD is slightly higher. लेकिन इसमें बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ है. पिछले साल तक जब हम मिले थे, AVOD was 70%, SVOD was 30%. तो हर आदमी फ्री ही चाह रहा था. फ्री का कंटेंट, फ्री. SVOD का बहुत कम शेयर था. एक साल में पिछले काफ़ी इंडस्ट्री में शिफ्ट आया है. So SVOD volumes have increased. So now SVOD from 30% is gone to 45%. Which in the term is called flip. The flip is coming.
Neck to neck है अभी.
हो रहा है, तो बढ़ रहा है. ये बहुत हार्टनिंग चीज़ है. तो इसका मतलब है आप लोगों की कंटेंट के लिए लोग पैसा देने को willing. They are getting more and more willing. Right? और थोड़ा बहुत केबल टीवी गिर रहा है. केबल टीवी 220 मिलियन था. केबल is come to about 150 million now. तो धीरे-धीरे केबल्स कट रही हैं और कम हो जा रही है. Numbers are increasing.
But on the cable TV, this connected TV doesn't go. But or this also goes like these apps, they will still play on the cable TV.
हाँ, तो जो जैसे ये कनेक्टेड टीवी हैं, इसमें आप टाटा स्काई का भी बॉक्स लगा सकते हो और कनेक्टेड भी कर सकते हो.
No, so when you say cable TV, you are including our shows can be seen on cable TV? No.
लेकिन अभी जो इंटरव्यूज दिए सारे न्यूज चैनल्स में, वो सारे केबल पे आएंगे.
Okay.
जितने भी लीनियर फीड आएंगी, दे विल ऑल कम ऑन केबल टीवी. और तो केबल क्या हो गया आपका? केबल जो तार से लगती है, इसमें बॉक्स लगता है और या DTH होता है.
So that means whatever we say TV shows. They are
cable.
Yeah, that's good.
That is all TV shows. So cable is now from 150 million, so from 200 about 150 million, but digital is rising. और digital में एक बहुत interesting number है, which will interest all of you. The value of a consumer, of a viewer, जो एक SVOD का सब्सक्राइबर है, जो पैसा देता है Netflix या Prime, उसकी मार्केट वैल्यू जो रेवेन्यू आता है साल का is about $1.5 to $2.5 per month. So इसको 90 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो मोटा मोटी 150 से 200 रुपए का वो खर्चा करता है सब्सक्रिप्शन पे on an average per month. That is the value. Now if you compare that to an AVOD subscriber, right? उससे जो टोटल रेवेन्यू जनरेट होता है, रेवेन्यू डायरेक्ट नहीं आता. सब्सक्रिप्शन वाला तो पैसा दे रहा है, सब्सक्राइब कर रहा है. एडवर्टाइजिंग वाला फ्री में देख रहा है, लेकिन रेवेन्यू ऐड के थ्रू आ रहा है. उसकी जो वैल्यू आती है, दैट इज एग्जैक्टली 1/10. 15 से 20 रुपए पर मंथ. 15 से 20 रुपए पर मंथ. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ अ फ्री यूजर इज 1/10 दैट ऑफ
a subscription.
Future looks good.
Future looks good. नहीं, इस पे आप it lies on your shoulders. The content that you generate can it attract more and more people to pay more and more money? And the entire ecosystem is.
I would say it is on the shoulders of the platforms.
Yeah.
The content they approve.
Yeah.
They commission.
Yeah.
Are they willing to see the data, look at the numbers, and commission the right kind of programs?
Yeah.
Instead of going blindly for star values or this kind of thing works, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Very,
the
very
change needs to come from the platforms.
Very well.
Anytime the largest producers in India had made money, largest producers in Hollywood have they made money, right? The biggest films were always not decided based on that sheet.
Yes. Yashrat film, you've seen the amazing stuff. You're right. There's no data at that time.
They were not just data. They were risk-taking options. They believed. They were not just sitting there crunching that business-wise because इस तरह की चीज चल रही है तो इस तरह की बन जाएगी. The largest of works have been taking chance and sitting there because you believe in something. You believe in the passion. You believe in the story.
Our business of storytelling.
So I don't know how many.
Passionate about storytelling as a platform or as a producer or as a director, then you might work once as a fluke. In the long run, you will not create any value.
But any heads also, no? And any of the heads of these channels, they all are in some one way or other passionate about storytelling. That you will hear from them also. You will feel with them also. What I'm trying to say is the risk-taking nature on trying something so when you are wearing that hat, you are not just looking at numbers. You're looking at the chances you're also going to take, right?
But there is
It's not easy. See, lucky. One thing, it's lucky that I got lucky in case of Bindiya Ke Bahubali that I got approved all these actors and without having quote unquote a star poster. I know what kind of things I heard work through in that process. I do not know how many will get lucky like that without having that and let's create an ensemble, let's try these kind of things, the kind of cast things. Where are those getting made? The kind of cast politics, the land displacement, all other kind of important stories. And it's not that people don't get connected with them. People very usually get connected with them.
Yeah.
No, but we didn't have such strong libraries also, ना Kumar?
नहीं तो past का मैं तो पता partly I agree with you, partly I disagree. That means it's a polite way of saying कि partly I disagree, partly I agree. कि उस समय जो बात करना 20-30 साल पहले क्लटर था कहाँ? चित्रांश किसने देखा है? किसको याद है? सभी ने देखा हो, कोई हो ही नहीं सकता जो 1980-90 में पैदा हो चाहे चित्रांश ना देखा हो. कोई क्लटर नहीं था ना, तो डेटा की जरूरत ही नहीं थी. जो चला दिया लोग कंज्यूम करेंगे. Things are very different. So there was something called carpet bombing, and right now you are getting into precision target marketing. उस समय तो हम लोग we've grown up. हमें तो Africa, I was in Sudan. मैं तो इंडिया में भी था. We used to get tapes of हम लोग इंडिया से जाती थी चित्रहार ये सब होता था वाया शारजा के थ्रू टेप्स होके जाती थी. तो ग्लोबल बन गया था. Today the problem is news के लिए 300 channels हैं. So it's a very natural human thing because if everyone breaks the same news at the same time. So what do we watch? So they are now looking at innovative ways कि audience को कैसे प्रभावित, whatever the word is, how to influence audience. That is a challenge. That is the challenge that you are also facing.
But look. Once again, if it is all about getting the eyeballs, I'm competing with the news also. I'm competing with the cricket also. We're talking cinema. We're talking a certain specific art form. Yes, everybody wants to just get as many eyeballs. But if that's going to be the standard of doing business and making art, I don't know.
It should not become the standard.
It should not be the standard. Yeah. Raj ka approach है eyeballs or eyeballs without the eye.
Eyeball?
Without the eye.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't care.
Bunwell, the first shot Bunwell has in Andalasian Dog is the cutting of the eye.
Yeah.
It's kind of important.
So Sushant, this is you're trying to eyeball.
Yeah, this is what you see.
So okay,
this is what
वो यही कह रहे हैं, right? No eyeball.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But fantastic chatting. I had a good time. Always. है ना आकाश नींद में है रात को काफी लेट अर्ली मॉर्निंग फ्लाइट बट गुड सो इट्स अ फैंटास्टिक मार्केट एज वी डिस्कस्ड India is becoming a more and more promising market. huge audience. India, the world's largest digital footprint, the world's largest UPI transactions is what we have in India, which is 15x of the United States, right? So that's how advanced we are on digital. We are the world's largest transactions on digital, right? Same thing is happening with content. As we just said, SWOT is increasing, which is very healthy for the industry. Lots of great content. As a consumer, every day if I get 1 hour or 2 hours of TV time or OTT time, luckily कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाता है देखने को रोज. Interesting, है ना? So good stuff. Congratulations again, Raj. Thank you for talking so much. आकाश ने बात ही नहीं करी थी हमसे तीनों को.
मैं सिर्फ सुन रहा था, मेरे को बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा था. मैं और भी बात करना चाहता हूँ.
नहीं बोलो. नहीं, we want you to speak. बोलो आकाश.
ना था बहुत अच्छा बोला.
हाँ बहुत अच्छा. बस
थक जाएगा क्या?
But you can have the last word if you want to, Aakash.
आप क्यों कर रहे हैं ये सब?
मैं कर सकता हूँ.
मैं इसका सच्चा जवाब दूँ.
धंधा है.
मैं बता दूँ सच्चा जवाब. तो my background, I worked for a gentleman called Ronnie Screwvala. You know Ronnie?
Oh.
He was my boss in 2007-8. And I launched the media channel business for him. उससे पहले मैं स्टार में था आज तक. So 2008 में markets crash हो गई थी. तो उसमें से I was heading the business. So today I'm saying, Sushant, see you tomorrow morning. Don't be late.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the position. Next morning layoff हो गया, shutdown हो गया because of the markets. But Ronnie did offer me a job in Bombay. जो विकास बहल went on to become the producer of Queen, Vikas and all. So Vikas, मैं और Sid Roy, we were all same batchmates. तो lay off हो गया था. तो उसके बाद मैंने काफ़ी जगह नौकरी ट्राई की, से नौकरी दी. Chrome चालू हुआ. So I started my own company, but we are all friends in the industry. उसका फ़ायदा ये होगा, I say I'm blessed for the fact that all the industry friends जो 2007-8 तक थे, वो सारे दोस्त से clients बन गए. है ना? तो और कई सारे दोस्त और clients हैं दोनों. जैसे आप दोस्त बन गए आप लोग, तो अच्छा लगता है. तो there is no formality. तो मैं 2 reasons के लिए कर रहा हूँ. I'm definitely not doing, they all know this, I don't do this for the money. I've got some other business interests where we make the money. This is a passion, and I just love meeting good people like you guys. I love the fact that I threw a party on the 19th of December. ये बॉम्बे से आया था party के लिए. We spent, we drank, we had a great time. Lots of, I hope you met some people there, right? So that's all. Yeah, इसीलिए कर रहा हूँ.
No, but jokes aside, this is a very important area for all of us who make this do this work, and there are not many, right? There's just like, so even if you have just one poll telling everything to the whole industry that this is the data, these are numbers, it's never a good thing, right? We say monopoly is never a good thing. So it's
happening in the airline sector. It's happening in the airline sector.
Yeah. I mean, it's happening everywhere. But I mean, at least you have created another umbrella and providing this data. I think this is commendable. So thank you for it.
Thank you. So we keep leg pulling, but I think we all admire each other from the core, right?
Yes.
Good. Glad to have one more new friend, Aakash, right? मिला करो, आया करो दिल्ली, छोले कुलचे खाएंगे. And thank you for coming to Chrome. As promised, we'll have dinner now. And
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. God bless you. Thank you so much.